Morning. Alright, good morning everyone. It has, I had a pretty good sleep, I think. Much needed. And especially since yesterday was a public holiday, I was out pretty late, hence my god awful stream timing. But welcome back. I'm all rested, or rested enough at least. And now it is time to continue with Final Fantasy XIV's MSQ. Like fear to flame, it is time to proceed to the next stage of your plan. With the tank's transportation first arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the Beelzebub contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy onto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. Where is Meredith? Here we are again. Glad am I to hear that Garlemald's restoration proceedeth apace, and the people no longer want for warmth. Be that as it may, there is no substitute for appropriate garments in such frigid climes, as I can personally attest. Per Yshtola's advice, I have changed into clothing more suited to these surrounds, the better to blend in. I hope this will suffice. You are, as ever, welcome, Sylvain. I do not believe I've met all your comrades. Look at this tiny aura standing on the table. Sylvain, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Void Sand incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us. Forgive us for not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great import. Indeed, we appreciate you consulting with us instead of taking unilateral action. 'Tis no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Though we have yet to re-establish a governing body, we provisionally refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, most of whom are uncomfortable with ethereal manipulation. To compound matters, the trauma inflicted by anima is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it is like to cause distress and reopen old wounds. Better that than facing a mass invasion by Golbez and his Voidsend hordes, surely. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation, as well as the promised bloodshed should we fail to act. Yet, even were we to convey your warning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What is there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Voidsent with their own eyes? Let us suppose you encounter someone who is freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes? But what if that person's sole experience with fire was being badly burned by it, and they harbor acute fear? Despite the benefits, nay, the necessity of the warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. So like the fire that torments this individual, the Tower of Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yet we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak with Alphino and Alizé. With the rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. In the meantime, Iriange, may I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation? Full faith have I that you will win over the Garlean populace. In the meantime, I shall see to it that all is in readiness with the tower. I will relay the particulars of your endeavor to the members of the contingent. Rest assured, we will do our best to assist you. If truth be told, had you approached us with your petition earlier, we are like to have declined it. The situation was simply too precarious. But the people have begun to pull themselves up, and I dare to hope they will lend an ear to your words. This isn't an Ethernet. Right, time to teleport to Tertian. have taken the liberty of explaining our objective. Give me a moment while I readjust the position of my microphone. Hello? Hello? Alright. I think that should be a bit better. Or perhaps... Actually, give me a moment while I adjust some technical aspect. I think if I were to lower my threshold a little bit more. Okay. Okay, I think this should do. Although, sometimes if I look away from the microphone, it might not pick me up too clearly. Perhaps this might be a bit better. It is pointing towards me a little bit more. Alright. What if I speak a bit softer? Alright, it still picks me up. I hope that some words don't get lost in from the noise gate. To dread fire even when one is freezing, to become a prisoner of one's fear. 'Tis a fate which voids in, too can succumb. Aye. Of all the things, I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away. Hey Renryu, good morning. Or I suppose it's evening for you over there. How goes it? Good whenever indeed. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm glad to see you, Sylvain. Reacher has explained our present dilemma. 'Tis no unfounded concern that the Guardians might take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel. That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms over it. Trust in the Elseborg contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly, or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. Trust again. Well, it seems to me there's naught for it but to speak with the people. Rather than harping on about the necessity of a plan, we need to lend an ear to the concerns, to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise. In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Senatus, near the Seneculum Imperialis. Could just be me, but you might want to bump up your mic audio a smidge. When the music swells, it gets a little harder to hear. Alright, let me increase the output volume a little bit more. Somewhere here, perhaps. Or I can just crank up the volume all the way. Hello? Is this any better? I'm not sure if it changed anything at all. Perhaps I can increase the gain. Is this any better? I think that sounds a little better. Alright. Well, I can adjust the gain at any time, so I'll just continue reading and you can let me know how that bit feels. Bassier too. Yeah, I got some crisp audio quality here. But hopefully it isn't too distracting. I would be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where people elsewhere stands as well. But that I will leave to the others, save Zero. Might you accompany me? I'm sure those in Tapper's Den will have their own opinions. Alphino, if I may drag you along. Tertium we leave to you. You are no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely. Ooh, I can actually hear like some small noises like me cracking my fingers. Immersive. Yeah, actually, like the Warrior of Light really likes to do the palm and fist motion. Then it's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet in Forum Solius, where we'll have what I hope is a productive discussion. I think what I can do is also lower the music on the game ends. Put about 50 over here. I guess I can lower down to, yes, ambient sounds. Somewhere here. I have no idea what any of this does, but let's give it a try. Ooh. Actually, it does sound different. Actually, let me Google that real quick. I actually have no difference. I have no idea what the difference is. But hey, good morning, Kirst. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by again. Alright, let's talk to the populace of Tertium. No, stop it. The tower's evil and will turn us all evil. I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. Okay, we're off to not a great start already. Threatening lady. If I... That tower isn't right, I tell you. All those magics. Years ago, when I lived in the provinces, the locals razed our village to the ground with the stuff. Made things appear and disappear, and fly and burn. Can still see it when I close my eyes. You've done us a good turn, dear. But let's not talk about that tower any longer. It's unnatural. Activate the Tower of Babel? Are you out of your mind? That abomination transformed my friends and family into monsters. I can't even bear to look at it whenever I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down. The Tower of Babel. But what's it got to do with Voidsent? I can't say I understand. Still, your people have done much and more for us Garleans. If you say it's necessary, then that's good enough for me. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. I mean no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dare to speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations, or worse. No. Forget I said anything, please. We only want to survive, to be given the chance to rebuild, that our people might stand on their own again one day. What are you doing, standing all alone out in the rain here? You scoot a little closer. Alright, cool. Ulysses is on his way with the others. Hope you found the people more receptive than we did. Sylvain, may I present to you Lord Neas and Metius, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower of Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by a representative of the Ilseburg contingent. I see Alphino and Alizé have yet to arrive, though, so perhaps we shouldn't wait. It doesn't matter if only some of you are present. We simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The tower is the manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the imperial family, and it will forever bear tremendous cultural significance. It is insulting enough that we have had to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid, and now you propose reactivating it. Nay, we have had enough. The Garlemald of old may have fallen, but she fell in civil war, to her own people, not to Eorzea nor any other land. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory. Garlemald, and all that lies within her bounds, is beholden to no one. There is no common ground to be found with these men. In spite of this, you will still engage with them. I do not begrudge them their hostility. They merely seek to protect their homeland. That said, we must strive to reach an understanding with one another. We will treat with the Elzebub contingent, if only to assert our rights. If your intentions are as benevolent as you claim, then you will agree to our demands. You know, just when I had a shred of sympathy for Garlemelon's people, people like you exist. Our sovereignty is of paramount importance. On this point, there can be no concessions. I think they fail to see, what the issue is here. It's not that we wish to wrest control from them, but simply to seek their understanding. But if they wish to use this issue as a leverage to make unreasonable demands or misguided demands, then I have a very simple solution to that. But that's a surprise for later on. Fallen Empire. Euless is eager to get out of the cold. Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I will escort them to Tertia. I will also instruct Alphino and Alizé to meet us there. Lord Metius, Lord Aeneas, by your leave, my comrades and I will speak with the residents of Senatus. For the Elzebub contingent holds the Tower of Babel. It is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, their dreams for the future, is sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I will struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground, upon which we may build a relationship that sees us overcome our differences. Very well, but know that the guards will not hesitate to escort you from the premises should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. If it's settled, then you should all head to Senatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Tertia. Okay, where is Senatus? Oh, across the map. The defenses bespeak a cautious mindset, more so than Tertia. Euless has told us all. You have Lorneus' permission to enter and speak with our residents, but not to petition them directly for support. Remember that. Here it is, Senatus. A temporary refuge for political dignitaries, hence the tight security.
I'm given to understand that outsiders are not normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. I hope it will be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero. As do I.
How predictably, Garlean, you separate the common folk from the highborn, apparently, even though you live in the same squalid conditions.
Your basic design is reminiscent of Tertian, though somewhat embellished.
Well, before I do that, I'm going to run around and talk to NPCs and see what sort of insight I can glean. I haven't seen you before. I assume you have permission to be here. There's one more person there.
The damage to the city is even more extensive than we thought.
Oh wow, first class cabins. Who are you?
To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilsabard contingent and the current state of affairs. We would also do well to learn more about this enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep it in mind. It is through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. You want to know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. I'll say this much. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life, what remains of it at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald.
Barrel of ceruleum.
You recognize the large casks as the very same you and your comrades used to transport ceruleum from Lapis Monalis. Why they are in Sentis is unclear.
Well, we better not be using them to power more war machina. Otherwise, I'll be very upset and I'll be forced to break your toys. Piles of crates.
Stockpile. The stockpile of assorted supplies bear markings indicating they were provided by the Ilsabard contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant upon the Alliance for aid. The furnishings are quite lavish. I am reminded of Troy. How do I feel about the contingent? conflicted to say the least. I've been tasked with the distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive without outside aid. Be that as it may, even though the Empire has collapsed, we have our pride. People don't want to be beholden to others forever, and there's no denying that it chafes to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? Much the same as me, then. They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. How many times must I tell you? It's absolutely out of the question. Oh, someone's having an argument. What's going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is aught the matter? Oh, no, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap you can clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns the Magitech weapons which run rampant throughout Regio Urbanissima. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we've proposed the elimination of all machina that loiter near the supply route. But you heard him, they refuse to even consider it. The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampant or no, those war machina are guardian assets. Furthermore, who is to say they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested that this could be a pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not if that is the case, but the fact remains, we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken, and unless we want to inflame tensions further, there's naught we can do. How complicated relations become when not grounded in clear and equitable arrangement. An equitable arrangement, of course. Well, I do understand the difficulty of your position. As a soldier, you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must first speak with Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. is this person again? What do you suppose he has in mind? He seems awfully confident. I've completed mine inspection of the tower. Thou shalt be pleased to hear that the transference of ether will pose no difficulty. Leave this to me, my friend. You are returned. With glad tidings, I hope. Welcome back, all of you. I pray there have been positive developments in your effort to appeal to the Guardian community. May have not yet, but there is a method by which I believe all stand to gain. As Satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Razadhan and the people of Garlemald. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. That they have been able to survive thus far is thanks to the Ilsabad contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. 'Tis no surprise that some Guardians are loath to engage with foreigners, for fear of indebting themselves further, or surrendering more of their already limited authority. That is why I wish to present them with an equitable arrangement, one that would restore them a sense of agency, having been forced to rely upon charity. Easier said than done. What exactly do you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Razadhan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, and I wish to continue in this tradition. We would provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you would grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as share your Magitech resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we will of course require more cerulean to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Razadhan's culture will be enriched by your Magitech wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prosperous. Only when both sides keep the interests of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. 'Tis a principle I once thought I understood, but have come to appreciate all the more in recent days. Thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Guardian, I myself see no reason to object to your proposal. Indeed, if Razadhan were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations between us. If you see the sense in my proposal, Then I ask you to join me in the negotiations at Tertium. Your support may be instrumental in winning over Lord Neus and Metius. By all means, go with them. I have matters here well in hand. I have learned all that I may regarding the Power's operation, so I too shall heed me to Tertium. If a trade agreement can be forged, I dare hope it will form relations with the Guardians. Until then, keep on trying to convince them of the need to decommission these dangerous weapons. Diplomatically, that is. An equitable arrangement. The Satrap has a pragmatic vision for the future. I'm going to finish up this quest, or perhaps the next quest, and then I'll see if breakfast is available, or lunch at this hour, I suppose. Can we finally begin the negotiations? A crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. The Tower of Babel is ours by rights, and nothing you do will convince us otherwise. Never have I met... No, that's false. But I have met some very punchable faces, and he definitely ranks up there. Rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Gollermal. Let us instead discuss the future. As Satrap of Radzahan, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations. The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lords. Sooner or later, we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure a means to replenish our coffers, and the proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity. It's true that we do not want for Magitech and Cerulean, and foreign currency will be needed to produce such things as we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You served the Emperor, were a proud patriot, and now you entertain selling national resources like a common merchant. Like you, I weep for what we have lost. But if we are to rebuild Gollermald, we must make use of what precious few assets remain to us. Nonsense. Utter nonsense. You are a traitor, Neus, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, when the people of Senesis learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Lord Metius, wait, it isn't safe out there. I fear for Lord Metius. I don't. If he dies, he dies. While I'm thrilled Lord Neus was willing to consider my proposal, I'm worried about Lord Metius. To the best of my knowledge, Lord Matthias is a civil servant with no combat experience. Should he meet with misfortune, he may fare poorly. An embarrassing display. A man of Matthias' station should have the capacity to keep his emotions in check. I'm not surprised. Some people cannot be moved by mere words. Concern is writ plain on Ulysses' face. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be outside alone. We must go after Lord Matthias. Let us leave Mattis here in Maximus' care, while the rest of us join in the search. If Lord Matthias is bound for Sentis, we may be able to catch up to him in Regio Urbanissima. I pray he has not come to any harm. Perhaps a little bit of harm. Do not worry about us. Just see that Lord Matthias does not come to harm, please. Alright. Oh, look at you. There are more pressing matters at hand. Alright. Oh, incredibly disappointing. I'm alive.
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help.
Yeah, probably should have just left you to die, honestly.
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here? I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
so long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
To be lectured by the younger, it ill becomes a man of my station. I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me? Ere we part, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
Ulyss, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrate safely back to Tertium.
What is it?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
You did.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here.
Of course.
So that's how Zero came to join you. Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister. As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence. Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it. No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns. During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive. My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Almost. 2 men tried just the once. A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriates. When they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search of a means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world? Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more. I continued fighting alone. But ultimately I was undone, overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together. I was cold, in pain, wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations. I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it. I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation. Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone. But it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get. What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today. Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Here it is again. The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
Just simply a handshake. Hey, good morning, my dude. It is not Wednesday, but good morning to you all the same, and I hope you're doing well. I'm just about to actually just take a short break and get lunch and be back soon, but that'll be after this cutscene. However you like. Yeah, stream has gotta eat too.
Give me your hand.
How about you? Had your lunch yet?
It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means. Someone you trust.
Characters name 0 remaining peak. Indeed. Such a wonderful character. Haven't decided what to eat? Well, hopefully you don't take too long. It's gonna be lunchtime soon. When I first met Zero, I wasn't sure what to make of her forthright to a fault nature. But now I understand she is simply an honest soul, to the core. Thank you. I feel at last as though I found the answers I sought, and I owe it all to you and Euless. Right then. I expect the others have already arrived back in Tertium. We should rejoin them. Another cutscene. Full glad am I to see everyone returned, and none the worse for wear. Various representatives of the Guardian community are gathered here this very moment.
I dare say this is a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memorandum. I trust you find the terms acceptable? I do. And, Neas, I pray you forgive me for my disgraceful conduct earlier. I am ashamed not only of my behavior, but of placing the burden of negotiations solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people at Trappist Den, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another Voidsend invasion, however, they were more receptive. It's fair to say the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. I tagged along to deliver a supply of cerulean. Have to say, I didn't expect to see such a large crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep to themselves and senators are here. My friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. I am pleased to inform you all that this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Radzat Han. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Radzat Han will provide us with supplies, which shall be equally distributed amongst the settlement of our nation. Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but a trade. A bargain struck between equals, rooted in trust and respect. And it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Radzat Han holds Garlean technology and ingenuity with the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement, our people will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. Now then, we bid you gather around to hear the particulars, that you might convey them to those elsewhere. Though burdened by hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald, that they are unable to imagine a brighter future. To be recognized as equals, as a nation of something of value to offer to others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. 'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel. A rather timely development given the ether tanks' impending arrival. Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but await Stola's signal to channel the energy to the moon, yes? Then you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alphinaud. No need to worry. Devote all your energies to the mission in the void. As ever, I am in your debt. are good friends.
I really like that little surprise look that both Alphino and Alice gave. Alright, it is time to get my lunch. I'll be back in about 15 minutes or so. Let me just put this up. Alright, and I shall see you shortly. Go get something to eat. But in the meantime, do enjoy the rather peaceful background music. Be right back. You have a nice breaky. Alright. Thank you. Yes, it is indeed lunch. But just about. I mean, it's the first meal I've had today, so yeah. test. Alright. I have returned. Hey, welcome back. Alright, let's see what everyone else has to say. Good friends, eh? And coming from her, you know she's not just saying it to be nice. Both Radz-at-Han and Garlemald stand to benefit greatly from this agreement. It may well mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. I'm not wrong to call them that, am I? Friends. Moments like these give me hope that we still have a place in this world. Garlean technology shall enrich my people's lives and empower them to achieve great new feats. I am particularly eager to see what our alchemists are inspired to create. Lunar Rendezvous. Ariane wishes to take stock of the situation.
Let us take a moment to review matters as they stand. Having procured sufficient stores of ether, we may now channel the requisite energy unto the moon via the Tower of Babel. Our work on the star is complete. However, we have yet to receive word from Y'shtola as to the state of the lunar preparations.
A ritual to open the gate, and measures to forestall a void-sent invasion. Neither task is simple nor quickly completed. She would doubtless benefit from our assistance.
The very thing I was about to propose. Let us join her above and lend what aid we may. Ere we set forth, however, Y'shtola did bid me relay a message to thee. As thou art well aware, a key objective of our mission is the extraction of thy sister Azhdaya from the Void. Held captive for millennia and divested of an eye, she is like to be severely weakened. To make good her escape, she shall require aid. Aid that is best provided by a fellow Great Worm.
You would have me go in my true form. Very well. Like our sire, we Great Worms are capable of traversing the great expanse. The journey will take some time, but I shall take myself to the moon. To begin with, I shall return this vessel to Radz-at-Han, that I may have both my eyes. And until such time as we find Azhdaya, I will entrust her eye to your keeping. Will you do this for me?
We shall contact you via Link Pearl once all is in place on the moon. You need but follow Ishtola's instructions.
Understood. We'll be ready.
Take care, Zero.
It will be the briefest of homecomings. I'll be back before you know it.
In mare elementorum, then. Go well.
Take care as well as they. Decimus Lacrimer. To the moon we go. When Xenos brought me here, I remember feeling surprised that such a desolate place could exist in the source.
I took the liberty of informing Ishtola of our arrival. She and her entourage should be here momentarily.
Forgive me. I'd hoped to have everything in order sooner. My thanks for the extra hands.
Alphino and Alice stand ready at the Tower of Babel. Vritra is also en route.
Excellent. You've done well, all of you. For my part, I've managed to prepare the ritual with help from the Watcher. All that remains is to channel the ether from below. This should, I pray, open a gate leading to the moon of the 13th.
May I just say how excited we are to be a part of this grand undertaking. The development of the artificial Atomos was one thing, but this is an opportunity like no other. Ishtola even managed to get a loan of elegant treatises on voids and summoning from the prized collection of the Sons of Saint Koinak. The Empire's application of etherochemistry in regulating void gates provided us with many a useful insight for our work, let me tell you.
I asked a favor of Grahatir when we were comparing notes on cross-rift travel. Given his credentials, I was confident he wouldn't be denied. The knowledge of our forebears has brought us far, as has our own.
This is such a nice shot. Look at that.
And with our knowledge and resources, we shall construct a voidsent containment seal on a heretofore unseen scale.
Containment seal? Then thou wouldst make use of...
Aye, a tried and tested means of holding dark entities at bay is readily available here. 'Twould be remiss of us not to employ it. we shall reforge the brands that Xenos and Fandaniel destroyed. That which held even Zodiac shall more than suffice for Voidsent of any persuasion.
The Watcher is already hard at work, tending to the most critical parts of the brand's restoration. There are, however, a number of concerning factors that remain. With your help, I'm sure we can resolve them.
Time is of the essence, so I suggest we continue this discussion as we make our way to the brands.
Look at all those people doing MSQ as well. So there's another NPC standing somewhere here, I'm sure.
So this is one of the brands that once imprisoned Zodiac. Were I to describe it back to my comrades back home, I doubt my words could do it justice. How did you fare with the preparations below? This seal we mean to erect. I assume it would hinder a half Voidsent like me from going in the other direction. Ishtola have done well indeed to devise a seal in so short a time. It is a testament to her ingenuity in times of need. Now then, to the matter at hand. With the Watch's assistance, we shall reforge each of Zodiac's brands and use them to erect a barrier capable of repelling Voidsent. Yet though we expect it to be effective against larger beings on account of its original purpose, there is a chance it will allow less of Voidsent to slip through. Therefore, we shall require a second line of defense, and I believe the Loporrit's supporters would be suitable for this purpose. Irianji, Sylvain, the two of you have a strong rapport with our lunar allies. I would have you meet with Liverway in Bestway's borough and provide any assistance they require. I will join you. As a Voidsent, my knowledge may be of use. An excellent idea. In the meantime, the rest of us will see to the forging of the brands. I will send word when we have finished. Pray, do the same. We have matters here well in hand. Go, meet with the Loporrit's. First, we shall see to this brand. What are these things? Very confused by the tiny moon rabbits. Living Way, I trust thou hast been well. There you are. Ishtola has apprised me of your present undertaking. I understand that she wishes to deploy our pride and joy, the veritable carrots of our eye, our unrivaled combat supporters, as a precautionary measures, in case this void-sent containment seal of hers proves lacking. As we speak, my fellows are rounding up what units they can, and will bring them to the northeast corner in short order. Please wait there. Despite their bestial appearance, these creatures are highly intelligent, and much like you and yours, they take pleasure in helping others. Ever grateful am I for the Lopper's irrepressible compulsion to help.
Dreadfully sorry to have kept you all waiting. Hello there, friends. A new person. Heard there was a bit of a rush, so we gathered what combat-ready supporters we had available.
A welcome contribution. Thine initiative never ceaseth to amaze.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush! Though we have fulfilled the purpose given to us by Heidelin, aiding the people of Aetheris remains our greatest joy. So you can count on us, ever and always. Right, so, we originally deployed these supporters to patrol the moon and keep it safe. They've never tussled with Voidsent before, but with sufficient data, they ought to hold their own against the ghastly fiends. Practical, tactical data acquired in the moment, and who better to give the supporters an educational thrashing than the champion of Aetheris?
I believe I would make a better instructor. Not only have I fought Voidsent, I am one.
Well, don't just stand there. Engage! 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 Engage!
That'll do, that'll do! bitterer than the bitterest carrot. Using this experience, we must enhance the supporters and turn them into void-sense slaughterbots! Indeed. Right after we've managed to put the poor dears back together.
Pray forgive our comrade's enthusiasm. May I inquire as to how long the repairs will take?
On an ordinary day, I'd say no less than 5 carrots briskly consumed. But if you were to provide us with encouragement... we just might be able to do it in 2.
This I leave to you.
Way to throw me under the bus, Zero. Lockbird's eyes twinkle with anticipation as they await your buoyant exhalation. To wit, they yearn for you to rally their spirits. I wonder if these creatures also once existed on the Void's moon. But even if they did, they must be all voiced by now. If I fear my laudations will leave them wanting, I shall do mine utmost to rally the Lockbirds. Rally the engineers. Engage. Sleepy Lula. Oh, sorry. I was in the midst of... Forgive me. The sight of precision parts is strangely soothing and sleep-inducing, but I'll try to keep moving. The repairs? Oh, they proceed apace, I assure you. But they might go even more swiftly if you were to spur us on. Rally us, as it were. Wink, wink. What a marvelous feeling. There's nothing like the wild gesticulations of encouragement to fire you. Forget too, at this rate we'll finish in a carrot and a half. Oh, what could be more splendid first than to repair our supporters under the loving gaze of people from Ethereus? Nothing, I tell you, nothing. Save for one such individual to rally us while we go about it, but a humble Lockbird can only dream. With you cheering me on, I can do not less than my very best. Next to the maintenance of the atmospheric circulation system, making adjustment to these supporters is as easy as changing your socks. Never fear. We shall ensure the supporters are ready for any voice and brazen enough to slip through. And if they seem to struggle, we'll rally them. Or at least we would if someone were kind enough to demonstrate. Thank you very, very much. You don't know how uplifting it is to have you encouraging us. I mean, showing us a proper technique so we may keep our supporters operating at peak efficiency. Overclocking to increase maximum output for the sake of people, for the sake of the people of Ethereus, we cannot settle for good enough. Everyone is in high spirits indeed. Thanks to your encouragement, we'll have the supporters up and running again in no time. Did I lose connection to the camera? Did indeed. There you go. Pray, attend to your remaining busy work and leave us the deployment of our new and improved Void Sense Slaughterbots to us.
Can you hear me? We've just finished restoring the brands. Let us reconvene once you've finished tending to matters there. The culmination of our efforts is nigh.
Ishtola, was it? The red side of the moon. The brands are ready, I presume? Excellent. With the Loppers having deployed their supporters, we are ready to proceed. Let us rejoin Ishtola post-haste, and prise open our gate unto the void. This is it. I have duly informed Y'shtola of our task's completion. While you all tend to matters in the 13th, I shall remain here and ensure the integrity of gate and seal both. Some men of Cactor attempted to make mischief, but no one came to harm. How did you fare? Oh yes, the Lunar Tenders. Strange little lads. With Estinian keeping us safe, we were able to finish repairing the brands without incident. My thanks for seeing to the supporters. With this, all is in readiness for the ritual. First, I shall give the order to Alphino and Alizé in the Tower of Babel to channel ether to the moon. Once we have amassed a sufficient amount of energy, Iriansha and I shall begin our incantations to open a void gate. If all goes well, a tear will form in the fabric of reality, at which point you must activate the brands and put in place the containment seal.
Very well. If that is all, if there are no questions, then let us begin.
Apologies for the wait. The preparations here are finally complete.
Excellent. The Tower 2 is activated, but give the word and we will begin channeling the ether.
Very well then. Make it so.
The moment of truth.
By the sisters!
Oriange, commence your invocations. 'Tis time to open our gate. A tear is beginning to form. Quickly, activate the brands. Success. The gate is open, and the seal appears to be in place.
Let's see how well it holds.
What an enormous gate! Lord Golbez will be eager to hear of this. So this is the promised land? The land of boundless ether?
I dare say the seal doth serve its purpose.
I see all proceedeth apace. Remarkable.
Indeed. Just this moment, a void scent emerged from the gate, by which we may safely assume it leads to the 13th.
It's incredible, Ishtola. Truly incredible. Oh, what an honor it is to have been part of this historic achievement.
A part is an understatement. None of this would have been possible without you and yours. Our success has also served to solidify our understanding of cross-rift travel. The Ascians rejoined reflections to the source by instigating elemental imbalances. These imbalances weakened the barrier between realities, causing the ether of a reflection to flood the source. But why is it that reflections are predisposed to rejoin the source? Why have they never merged with one another?
Thou art suggesting there is a unique property inherent to the source, one responsible for such an outcome.
I am. 'Tis my conclusion that, as the point of origin for the reflections, the source has an innate pull over them. Hydaelyn, I believe, sought to suppress that pull, which is why she was created with the power of light, of stasis. Meanwhile, the power of darkness, of activity, reigns in the void. Hydaelyn's influence would naturally be weaker, and this manifested in the form of planar fissures. Working with this hypothesis, I set my sights upon where the pull was assessed to be strongest, and through our combined efforts, we succeeded in opening a gate to the void. Now, I must stress, it was because we sought the void that we succeeded. Pleased though I am to have my theory proven, the secrets of travel to other reflections still elude us. Even so, in the reality that lies beyond the 8th umbral calamity, there are those who found a way to reach the first. I will not rest until I do the same.
One step closer to fulfilling your dream, eh?
Just a step. Many more remain to be taken. Which further motivates me to forestall a void-sent invasion. So come, let us set forth, to find Ashdaya and put an end to Golbez's plot.
Climb upon my back. I shall take us to the gate.
As we did discuss prior, I shall see the alchemists safely home, then together with the Loporrits maintain vigil over the gate.
May the sisters watch over and keep you safe.
Into the void once more.
This is the moon of the 13th.
It is. Ever since the flood, it has been a sanguinary orb in the sky.
No void scent. A rather more subdued reception than I had anticipated.
But unsurprising, given how jealously Golbez conceals the location of his domain. Still, we must remain on guard. One of his minions came through the gate, after all, and more may lie in wait.
I do not sense my sister. Where could she be? Where?
Steady, Vritra. We've barely arrived. Let us explore our surrounds before drawing conclusions.
Yes, thou art right. I shall survey the moon from above. The ground I leave to you all.
There is no ether here. I cannot summon the knobs. Strange. My lands will be ready should any more of Golbez's spawns appear. The surface of the moon is a grim shade of crimson, a consequence of the flood of darkness, perhaps. No matter how you strain your eyes, you spy no signs of life. In all directions extends a desolate waste without end. You hold your breath in an attempt to catch the faintest noise. Save for the sounds of your comrades, there is nothing. Be right back. check. Alright, I have returned. So far, you have failed to find any clues as to Ashdaya's whereabouts. Perhaps Zero has noticed something you missed.
The chasm has caught your attention as well. There's some manner of structure below. Worth a look, wouldn't you say?
I too sense something here. This pit much resembles the Cradle of Darkness on our moon, where Zodiac was once imprisoned. If this place serves the same function, then a fragment of his power must have been sealed in the depths. Strange, though. When Zodiac perished in the Source, I presumed that every aspect of him was thus unmade, and his power scattered. But it's unmistakable. The darkness that permeates this abyss. Could a trace of him yet remain?
I hear thee, sister. I hear thee. Climb on, my friends. Astaya is here, within this chasm. Drown King. Kom na in Ötaan.
You were entrusted with Ashdaya's eye, were you not? So this is indeed Golbez's domain.
Kis arn in.
Es fil ud in. Ein an in.
Sis esk dir amtar. For war meradarn I alan an. Les I el kol an. Zdis sorn I rum. Snar tiamat an. Kai ros an. Ke ul ke darn morn. Dis an. Kai an. Nal stra an.
Nar tal kin in eyes. Atan endran esk tai an. I'll call hes in hes ud lar an. Esk les ud an. Ses razat han lu an. Snoson an hai hes in an.
Ta hes an elgol osk in. Ses kidir in an. Kasta an. Sta in es katao. Tai an. Es an stra in sorn.
What now, then? Does this great worm intend to remain a captive meal for all eternity, not daring to test her chains?
Ern el, I mis head in ud. Kis targo, Asrael dis tar, sma osk in sis an.
Now there's a start. So, what can you tell us?
Sis tar no kol in. Do es I nesh I gol sorn, ka som ul mo go. Skom les sao an, som du orta sis.
Well, you heard her. Shall we look into this spot near and dear to our enemy's heart?
We shall. It's time then. But first, let me see if the others have the dialogue to speak. Tis a comfort to see that Ashdia's spirit remains unbroken. Let's find this mystery location Golbez so favors. A place Golbez visits without fail. If there was some distortion in the ambient ether, I would be able to find it with ease.
The others have already begun searching for clues. Let us do the same. I'll take charge of this area, if you could see to the south. I could not discern a structure of any kind from above. Whatever this place or object might be, Golbez have hidden it well. A glimpse from beneath the rock catches your eye.
Did you find something? A memoria. But whose?
You have lied, pillaged, and murdered. Have you anything to say in your defense?
No. Every one of them got what they deserved. Trusting fools. Like you would-be heroes. Aye. You do well to keep a close eye on each other. It always ends the same way. A knife in the back. And better to have the handle towards your hand. You'll see! Oh, yes. You will.
In death, may your soul find salvation.
I can't bring myself to pray for the unrepentant. You're a nobler man than I.
Come now, we all shade by these dark times more than we would care to admit. I choose to believe that, had these men known peace and plenty, they would not have been consumed by mistrust and avarice.
Victims of the Contra Memoria, then. Like so many others. But we will end it.
Thank you. I shudder to imagine what might have happened if you hadn't dealt with the Dark Ones.
Who is that?
Oh, her? She's like you, I hear. Hunts memoriats taken by darkness.
Well, well. A kindred spirit. Perhaps we will finally have a new comrade.
No. I've no interest in working with others. Much less someone who looks as suspicious as you.
Is that so?
If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
Even when we share the same goal, we can't overcome the mistrust. Such is the way of things, the wisdom of our era.
Only a precious few memories remain who cling to the light. Would that we have won her over.
We'll make do, old friend. We have accomplished much already, and another person may well have been more of a hindrance than help. Now then, our work here is finished. His Majesty has summoned us, so let us not delay. To Baron!
Had another vision of the past, did you? What? I was in it. It's them. The pair I met in that village. Which means the one sealed in this memoria is...
So, you have come. You, who would oppose our crusade.
Tranquilo.
You. I know you.
Is that so? From the world before, I dare say. 'Tis impressive enough that you have managed to retain your mortal form, but to remember your past besides. But that is of no moment. You are the Memoriat who vanquished my minions. Correct.
And what if I am?
Then... I would bid you join me. As a child of our world and slave to the wheel, fight with me for the salvation of all our souls.
Fight with you? More like fight as your pawn. It isn't me you want, but my power. And if I don't obey, you'll bind me like you bound that dragon. But no more. I refuse to be bound ever again. I fight only for myself, and for those in whom I trust. My friends.
I see. A pity. It is for the dragon that you have come, yes? When first you appeared, I thought simply to remove a threat to our plan. Never did I imagine that you would reach this place and gift me a golden opportunity. as it has been imprisoned, this dragon has grown feeble and weak, its spirit extinguished. Your coming has served to rekindle her forgotten hope. Her yearning to be free, to return home. That is the key to our deliverance.
The darkness is ravaging her. She's becoming a void scent.
Archer! Smash!
Rise, O Shadow Dragon, and obey! Kill him.
Keen, Frosk, nah. Damn you!
Keep our guests occupied.
Save her, I beg thee. Save my sister.
Before darkness swallowed the world, I fought tirelessly in a war without end. The experience taught me to discern the strong, that dragon, and you. Come, face me.
The cube. Hey Ishka. Hey Seth. Oh my god, it's Ika. Oh, I have the soundboard on my Discord. Unfortunately, I don't have like the full nitro, so I can't play it. But hey, hello, welcome to my stream. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm good. I'm censoring my eyes, but I'm here to support. Alright, well, I guess again, there's like can we like shift the window so that you don't see the video, but you can see the chat still. Let's see, what was I saying? I'll deal with you then, I'll free Ashtara. Seems like a very cliche shonen protagonist thing to say. So, I'm gonna choose this instead. Rest assured, I need no invitation.
Accursed light.
Oh my god, Golbez. Why you got them big ass pauldrons? You're gonna have to ask like Amano about it, like, why did she design it in such a way?
You, who have ever basked in its warmth, could never understand our envy, our agony. You will not deny us our release.
Let's fucking go. Just release that. Bro's frustrated. I mean, if you're stuck in the void for 1,000 years with no death or, yeah, with no death, you probably get a little bit frustrated too. And now the waiting game. You're just standing there, menacingly. We're standing across the room from each other and just posing. Did I take billions of pictures of Zero? Yes, I did. I did. Same brain. You and I both. Yellow. Anyone? Surely there has to be people doing this raid, right? I can be the only one just waiting. Actually, the raid just came out like last week or the week before. Oh, there we go. Let's go!
Expect no mercy. To destroy you, I shall bring my all to bear. Come, warriors from beyond the rift. If you would oppose our crusade, then come. But know that none shall deny us salvation. This place shall be your tomb. I will free us from the wheel. Where my rime-kissed blades, I will suffer no obstacles. No matter the foe, I will stay the course. Let lightning surge! Such is your power. Come forth, my servant of shadow. With abyssal dark and hero's blade, I bring my people liberation.
Man, that's cool.
You shall know true terror! Dragon, hear me and obey! Crush them! Bathe them in black flame! My meteors will extinguish your light. A raging gale to rend you asunder. Look to the heavens for your doom. You wretch! Come forth, my servant of shadow!
Not too sure what I'm supposed to do about a comment.
Let lightning surge! A raging gale to rend you asunder. Be gone! Dragon, hear me and obey. Look to the heavens for your doom. Wear my rime-kissed blades. This place shall be your tomb. Crush them. Render unto me your all. My meteors will extinguish your light. Come forth, my servant of shadow! Let lightning surge! A raging gale to rend you asunder. dragon! Hear me and obey! Look to the heavens for your doom! Wear my Rhine-kissed blades! This place shall be your tomb! Crush them! Render unto me your all! My meteors will extinguish your light! Come forth, my servant of shadow! Let lightning surge! A raging gale to rend you asunder! My power.
It's like a small arena, but
Even my blade. So, this is the limit of my defiance.
you.
Are you all right?
What's happening?
At last, the moment is at hand. You may have bested me, but not quickly enough too late will you look to the chasm. You've won the battle, but I win the war.
Stop this. I beg of thee, let her go.
Darkness made manifest once abided in the depths of this abyss, until one day it dispersed in a haze of ether. In the absence of the great flow, that ether has nowhere to return. And so it has coalesced, giving rise to a mighty voidsent.
Let's go to Gma's physics.
Now feast. Feast upon this dragon and its ardent longing for home with it. From the convergence of ancient and newborn, an entity without equal shall emerge, one who shall tear down the barrier between worlds. Upon you, who shall deliver us from eternal damnation, I bestow the name of a hero of Eld. Zeromus! Awaken!
No matter how powerful, a voidsent can be sealed in Memoria. Damn it. It's too strong.
Our warding scales may not hold. Not against a voidsent born of Zodiark's ether.
We must retreat. Everyone to me. Or an kin, Thest na in an.
You remember a stage in Super Smash Bros. Brawl? We made it back safely, at least. Ishtar is relieved to be back in the source. In light of this development, that we escape with our lives is an accomplishment unto itself. Would that we could have anticipated Ashdaya's yearning to return home could be manipulated in this fashion. Alas, we must now contend with a newborn void-sent hellsbent on breaching the rift. And one with such prodigious strength. Zeramus is unlike anything I have ever seen. So named for an ancient hero, as Golbest said, though none can say if there is even a sliver of truth to the legends. Perhaps Golbest chose it in hopes that his champion will do that which no one could in the Contra Memoria, save the world. But a true hero will not damn another world to save his own. And we're not about to let that happen. But regardless, we need to regroup. Low though am I to admit, we are in no state to face a voice of Zeramus' might. Vritra, not least of all, in body and mind both. For now, let us return to Razadhan and take stock of the situation. Very well. Sylvain, might I trouble you to head to Bestway's burrow and apprise Urianger of the situation? The rest of us shall tend to Vritra's wounds before returning to Razadhan. Pray, join us there anon. Ishtola expanded a great deal of ether to open the Void Gate, and Zero took a vicious blow from Zeramus. But worry not, I'm well enough to keep everyone safe, and when we've finished here, be sure to get some rest. You've earned it. Dire though these circumstances may seem, Vritra must keep the faith, for despite Golbest's claim, there is still a war to fight. A war we must win. Well then, I suppose this is the setup for the next expansion. We really are going to go to the 13th, deal with Golbest and Zeramus. Ah, Sylvain, thou art returned. I am pleased to say that you have been blessedly uneventful in your absence. But more importantly, what of your mission in the Void? Heavens forfend, Van Ashdaya should be used to birth a dread voidsent born of Zodiac's residual ether. Although we could not have predicted this outcome, there is one small mercy. The voidsent containment seal. As we employed the self-same brands that once imprisoned Zodiac in its creation, the seal should serve to hinder Zeramus. Yet, for how long, none can say. While our enemy's strength is unknowable, walls of a barrier was erected in haste. Thou shalt rejoin our comrades anon to deliberate measures, yes? Then I shall remain here to maintain my vigil over the sea. Should we observe signs of an impeding incursion, rest assured I shall send word without delay. Go well, my friend. Concern thyself not with matters here. Pray return to Radzahan, where thou art needed. Good timing too. I think by the time I finish up the MSQ with this last quest, I should have enough time to prep and go do whatever it is I need to do outside today. Which is to teach class. Ah, Master Celine. We've been expecting you. When the Satrap and your comrades returned earlier, I couldn't help but notice that they were in low spirits. I hope it is nothing too serious. But forgive me, you must be eager to join them, if you would follow me.
Do you remember Ciriato and Farfarello? The cowardly pair of Voidsent that dwelled in my domain? Ciriato devoured Farfarello.
Hey, Lyra. How's it going? Things are going alright for me. Just about finishing up 6.4 here. How about you?
And in so doing, he inherited an all-consuming fear of Barbariccia. For as you know, when a Voidsent is devoured, it doesn't simply cease to be. Its soul persists within the devourer. And when a Voidsent dies, all the souls that harbored may break free to become individual entities once more. That is to say, by defeating Zeromus, we may yet save Ashdaya.
Yeah, understandable.
And to make certain that we do, we must remind her of who she is. When the time comes, you must call to her. Call with all your being.
Thy words give me heart, Zero. Thou hast my gratitude.
Then it's settled. Our objective is to defeat Zeromus. While it is unsettling that a void scent could be born of Zodiac's ether, its very nature may render it susceptible to the brands that once contained him. Did Urianger have aught to say? I see. If the seal may not hold for long, then haste is paramount.
Couldn't we just let it come to the source and strike it down here?
Doing so would consign Ajdaya's soul to the ethereal sea. Any attempt to ensure her survival demands that we deal with Zeromus in the 13th.
I could barely go near it. Never mind land a blow. So thick was the shroud of darkness. How do you propose we fight such a foe?
Simple. Against impenetrable darkness, we must wield resplendent light. And it just so happens, there is a world replete with light.
Ew. We're going back to the first, baby.
The question of how we will harness that light, you may leave to me. With our recent discoveries and proven techniques, as well as the aid of comrades near and far, I have faith that we will find a way. But only if I begin my work at once. Rest up while you can, for there will be much to do when I return.
It wouldn't do to be idle while our esteemed sorceress labors tirelessly. I shall be training if you have need of me.
Wait. Allow me to join you. I must become stronger for what lies ahead.
Zero, my beloved. Growing up so fast.
Fine by me. Come on then.
I shall not pass my time wallowing in despair. Using my vessel, I shall attend what preparations I may.
Ajdaya is my sister, and long have I dreamed of saving her. But if I am to do so, I must be better than I have been. Blessed though am I to have you and yours as comrades. I cannot well ask you to lift me up every time doubt and despair creep into my heart. I won't falter again, this I swear. I will hold fast to my convictions, Sylvain, and I pray that you will stand with me to the last.
Zeromus is risen, but not yet at full strength. It will take time before the fiend is able to breach the veil. But what is another moment on this long journey I have endured? It remains as fresh as if it were yesterday. Old friend, the memory of your passing. and the pain. As I promised you then, I promise you now. They shall sing of Golbez, the hero who shattered the wheel and brought salvation to the world.
Light's embrace to shadows deep, a world to save, an oath to keep. Achievement, you win or you die. Come on now. Once again, we must await your Stolas' return. But I shall not allow my restlessness to consume me. Alright, well. Yeah, looks like I was right. The timing is just right. Because I still have enough time to prepare to leave and go teach the class that I'm supposed to teach today. Well, anyway, thank you all for stopping by. I don't know when the next time I stream is going to be. Maybe I might stream a different game other than Final Fantasy. There are a few games that I've recently got that I would want to stream. So, we'll see how it goes. But until then, thank you for stopping by, and I think most of you here are still in the daytime, so I hope you have a good day ahead and enjoy your weekend. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Oh, actually, before I do that, I might as well just see who else is online and send you over there. Ah, okay. Alright, I'll see you all next time.